Hi everyone, welcome back. We have a really fun vlog today. It is my birthday week. To celebrate, I thought that I would go back, relive some of my childhood. You see I've got my braided pigtails on today, but more specifically, I want to reread some of my favorite childhood books. So we are filming in this random corner of my guest room for a reason, but that's because this is where a lot of my childhood books live, is in these side tables, because we don't have enough shelf space in this house. Chronicles of Narnia series, my Little House on the Prairie series, my Junie B. Jones books, Little Prince, Stargirl, A Little Princess, Princess Academy. Wow. Prince, Princess, and Princess. Could you tell what I was into as a child? Obviously, I'm not rereading all of these books today. That would be quite a lot, but I have picked out a few, kind of ranging from like when I was a little girl all the way up through some of my favorite like YA teen books. Let's talk about the TBR for today. So one of my favorite things to read as a child were stories out of the Mrs. Pickle Wiggle treasury. This is my literal copy from when I was a little girl. Could there be anything more little girl than like this purple font with the little daisies in it? Oh my gosh, I love it so much. So yeah, this is a combination of 3 different individual Mrs. Pickle Wiggle stories. So I just want to kind of jump around and reread some of them. If you don't know what Mrs. Pickle Wiggle is, what are you doing, first of all? But she is this eccentric older lady that lives in an upside down house built for her by her pirate husband. Listen, the lore is deep. And she has like a special way with kids. And so the parents in this town or wherever she lives, I don't remember, always come to her for advice and for cures and things when their kids are having issues, mostly with like behavioral problems. So the one that I remember probably the most clearly, and this is a perfect example of like a Mrs. Pickle Wiggle story, is there was this kid who never wanted to take a bath. Like he hated bath time. He was such a nuisance about it. So the parents came to Mrs. Pickle Wiggle. They're like, what do we do? You know, he never wants to get in the bath. It's such a fight. And she's like, then don't make him bathe. And they're like, yeah, but he'll get gross. She's like, yeah, I know. So they follow her advice. This kid gets so dirty. Like he's like covered head to toe in dirt and mud. And one night they sneak into his room while he's sleeping and plant radish seeds, like in the dirt that's on his skin. And he starts to sprout radishes. And it like scares and traumatizes him so much that he's like, I'm begging you, please let me take a bath. I'll never skip a bath again. So that's the sort of situation that we're talking about. I definitely want to reread that one, and I'm probably just gonna like jump around in here and reread some that sound really fun. We also obviously have to read Junie B. Jones. The picture that is literally my profile picture on YouTube, because I feel like it just really captures my aura, not just as a child, but into today, is me reading a Junie B. Jones book. I don't have that specific one. It's Junie B. Jones is a beauty shop guy. The way the picture is, you can't 100% tell, and I thought that it said Junie B. Jones is a beauty shop gay, which iconic. I don't know why I wouldn't own that. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten rid of it. I have many to pick from. I do really remember Sneaky Peeky Spying. So I think maybe that will be the one that I do. There was one where she saw her teacher try a grape at the grocery store. It stressed her out so much because she was like, oh my gosh, my teacher is a thief. That might be this one. So we'll see. For something a little more like middle grade, I really want to reread Princess Academy by Shannon Hale. I love this book. I have such fond memories of this book. I read this book to death. We'll talk about it later. It's so good. The 4th book that I want to read, I don't have a copy of yet. I ordered a used copy last week and it said it wasn't even gonna get here until like later in the weekend, but I checked the tracking this morning and it's in my town. Like it was at the post office in my town yesterday afternoon. Now, does that mean that they will manage to get it like the 3 miles from my town's post office to my house today, or even anytime in the next 3 to 4 days? Maybe not. But we'll see. We're gonna start here. We're gonna start with these 3, and that will maybe give some time to see if the 4th one gets delivered. I might sprinkle in through the rest of the day just some other things that I really liked doing as a little girl. Honestly, I've remained pretty consistent as far as like personality and hobbies and things. If I'm thinking back to what I loved to do as a little girl, reading, obviously, coloring, or just like crafting. I loved doing crafts and stuff, which I still do to this day. I loved hiking. We'll see if it's nice enough to go out for a walk this afternoon. The weather's a little chilly today. I think for tonight, I'm gonna make my mom's spaghetti. Her spaghetti was probably like my favorite food growing up. Unfortunately, she doesn't actually have a recipe. She just kind of made it up. When I make it, it never tastes the same as hers because there's not actually a recipe. And also it's probably just never gonna taste the same because it's mom's spaghetti, you know, it's not mine. So we're really trying to tap in to some childhood joy and whimsy today. In celebration of me growing another year closer to death. Okay. No, I'm excited about my birthday. I think growing older is a privilege. But anyway, on that note, let's dive into some Mrs. Bigglewiggle. Some of the overviews of the different problems in the cure. So there's this kid who like won't pick up his toys. Basically, Mrs. Bigglewiggle like invented the let them theory. She's like, okay, just like let them do what they want and experience the natural consequences of their actions. So this kid never wants to pick up his toys. So she's like, just don't make him, you know, let him make his room an absolute total mess. His room gets so messy that he gets stuck in there and he can't come down to eat. And Mrs. Picklewiggle's like, make all his favorite foods, let him smell them. I'll take the kids out and do something fun. We'll parade next to his window and make a bunch of noise and he'll be like really sad and jealous that he can't come. And then we'll just let him know like, well, you can't come down and eat or you can't come to the circus or whatever until you clean your room. So she literally relies on like, let them make such a mess that they get stuck in it or that they experience humiliation from their peers. So her parents go in and push all the seeds into her. When they had finished and were standing by her bed, gazing fondly at their handiwork, Patsy's father said, "Repulsive little thing, isn't she?" The radish cure is certainly hard on the parents. Cute. I think I forgot that these books are from like the 40s. I don't think I realized they were this old. So I forgot. She doesn't just like, you know, let the kids experience consequences. She actually does have these magical powders and cures and stuff. She has a hump on her back and she tells everybody that her hump contains magic. And she has this like treasure chest from her pirate husband that's filled with all these magical cures. This is so funny. Honestly, I find the parents funnier than the kids in these instances. They're always like pretty fed up with the kids and they're kind of sarcastic about the issues. Especially, I will say, you can definitely tell this was written in like the 40s and the 50s because the moms are always like in hysterics and crying because they're so worried about their kids, and the dads are like, I literally don't care what we have to do, like we're taking care of this behavioral issue, and they're like saying these snarky things about their own children. This was fun. I reread the radish one and then kind of like skimmed through some of the other ones. I just loved this book as a little girl. This was the book that, you know, if my parents told me like, you know, it's time to turn off the lights and go to bed, and then I would get caught reading after it was supposed to be lights out, you know, under my covers. My mom was like, we always knew because we could literally hear giggling coming from your room. She's like, you were literally giggling out loud reading Mrs. Pigglewiggle like under the covers with a flashlight. I like honestly can't wait to read this to my nieces and my nephew. They would love these stories. So, you know, as I was reading them, of course it was fun to revisit them, but I was more excited about like, oh my gosh, the kids like are gonna love these so much. So this was fun. Now I'm gonna go to Junie B. Jones. My girl Junie B. Oh, iconic. This is how every Junie B. Jones book starts out. My name is Junie B. Jones. The B stands for Beatrice, except I don't like Beatrice. I just like B, and that's all. My God. I forgot that like she writes Barbara Park is the author of these. She writes in Junie's voice. It feels weird to call her Junie. She's Junie B. She's Junie B. Jones. She writes like a kindergartner would talk. Okay, so in this one, she's obsessed with like spying on people and hiding. Last Friday morning at Grandpa Miller's house, I hid in the dirty clothes hamper. And then my grandpa came in the bathroom. And I lifted up the lid a teeny bit and I peeked my eyes at him. And guess what? Grandpa Miller took his whole teeth right out of his head. That's what. I popped right out of the hamper. "Hey, Grandpa, how did you do that crazy thing?" I hollered. Then my grandpa screamed very loud and he runned out of the bathroom speedy quick. Grandpa Miller has high blood pressure, I think. Oh my gosh, this is a hoot. I'm obsessed with this. Oh my gosh. She's on the principal's office and she's like gotten in trouble and he calls her mom. After that, Mother said she wanted to talk to me. Only when I said hi, she didn't even say hi back. She said she wasn't very happy with me, Missy, and no more spying means no more spying. And we would talk about this after her work. Then Mother said she never wants to get any more phone calls from Principal. Did I understand? Did I? I looked at Principal. Mother says not to call her anymore. I told him. And then she runs back to her classroom. I run there speedy quick, only too bad for me, because I got there too late to sing My Country 'Tis Thee, Sweet Land of Liver Free, which is my favorite flag song. These books are so funny. Yeah, this is really funny. This is so cute. Okay, I've read the fun ones. I mean, this book is still fun, but on to something a little more serious. Okay, so, oh my gosh, this day ended up being absolutely gorgeous. Like, it's such a beautiful day. So I call it rednecking, meaning I pull a lawn chair out into my front driveway and like my front yard and set it up because I don't really have a backyard and there's a sunny spot in the front. Anyway, I pulled my chair out into the front yard and I'm sitting and reading Princess Academy. I'm obsessed with this book. I love this book. But anyway, my books came. A little thrift books book haul. So here is the one, the YA book that I was talking about. The Haunting of Elizabeth Cray by Chris Wooding. I'm almost convinced that this book is now like out of print because I couldn't even get an ebook copy. Like I couldn't even buy a copy on Kindle. And I mean like everything is available on Kindle, but not this book. We'll talk more about this one later, but I am excited because I will be able to get this one in the video. This is all that I needed, but if you've ever shopped on thrift books, you know that if you reach, I think $15, then you get free shipping, which like, obviously I'm gonna get free shipping. And then when I was going to check out, it was like, you have a free book reward, you know, free book up to $5. So then I added another book because it was free. Anyway, you know what? It doesn't matter. Okay, let's talk about what else I got. Let Your Life Speak, Listening for the Voice of Vocation by Parker J. Palmer. This is like a really small, really short Christian nonfiction, self-help-ish adjacent sort of book, I guess. It's something that my pastor has recommended a lot. I've been interested in it, and so I just wanted to get a copy for my shelf. I also got, I'm so excited about this, Read Until You Understand, The Profound Wisdom of Black Life in Literature by Farah Jasmine Griffin. I was thinking about putting this book on next year's TBR, like for my 27 and 2027, but I'm so excited about it that I don't know if I can wait that long. I've previously read some like Black feminist theory works from Farah Jasmine Griffin and just loved them, loved her writing. And so I'm like really, really excited about this book. The last thing that I got, this is my free book. This is a book I have read before, The Widow of Rose House by Diana Biller. And this is such a good like gothic historical romance. I've reread this book several times, but I always end up like trying to find a library copy or a Kindle, and I just wanted a trophy copy for my shelves, and I found one that I got for free. Very excited with this mini book haul. This is so fun. Again, we'll come back to this. We'll talk about this book in a little bit, but I'm gonna go finish Princess Academy. I'm having such a good time. This is such a good day. Who would have thought reconnecting with your childhood self would bring joy? Who would have known? I finished this book. It's so good. Oh my gosh, what to even say about this book? It's about Miri and they're teenagers. I think like the girls that end up going to this academy are like between 12 and 17 years old or something. They all come from this mining town. They're up in the mountains and they're like a territory of this kingdom, and they're kind of looked down on by everybody, even though the stone that they mine is really important to the kingdom. All the girls like have to work in the quarry except for Miri. She's too small. She feels like she never does anything useful or feels looked down on, and the kingdom chooses their territory as the next place where the bride for the prince will come from. Well, they don't choose them. It's like a magic sort of thing or whatever. Would prefer if the bride wasn't from there, because again, they kind of look down on them. So all the girls are sent to this training school. They're still up in the mountains, but they're kind of a little ways off from the village, and they learn to read and write. They learn about commerce and fair trade, and in a lot of ways it's like not great because they're taking these girls away from their village, but also they're excited to have access to things like education, which they never had before. Miri, our protagonist, she's so lovely. She cares about her people. She cares about her land. As far as like where the story goes, you'd assume like, oh, our protagonist, she's probably going to end up being the princess, and I won't spoil the story or anything, but like it definitely ends up going in a different direction than you would expect. I think I love this book. I think this is like just one of the best middle grade stories like ever. And I'm not normally one, again, to read middle grade. I don't think I would have picked this up just out of nowhere if I hadn't, previously known that I read and loved it. But if you do like middle grade or are interested in trying something like that, I really can't recommend this book enough. It's so good. It's so good. We have one more book. I'm amazed. We've made really good time today. It's still daylight outside. I've read one whole novel and 2 other like short books, and this came in time in the mail, and listen, killing it. Sun's out. Wow. I'm just having a time. So the last book that I wanted to mention is The Haunting of Elizabeth Cray by Chris Wooding. This book, I saw this meme and I really, really wish that I had saved it. It was one of those things that I saw it, I laughed, and then I kept scrolling, and then you can like never find it again. I'm not gonna get the wording right. But the gist of it basically was there's nothing like the bond between a girl and the library book that she like randomly found one day when she was 14 years old, and it was probably inappropriate for her, but she loved it anyway, and then, went on to become obsessed with it forever. The second I saw this meme, I was like, yep, that's The Haunting of Elizabeth Cray. I guarantee what happened is that I saw this book at the library. I had read basically everything else the library had. I thought it sounded interesting, so I grabbed it, became obsessed with it, and checked it out like every 6 months for the next however many years or something. I do know that I read this as an older teenager, which is good because this is not something a younger teen should be reading. I mean, it is YA, it is written for a young audience, but it is about the occult. So it's been so long since I read this that like I have vague memories of what it's about. Really, I just kind of remember like the vibe and the aesthetic of it. To explain the plot to you, I feel like I just need to read what's on the back. Thaniel, just 17, is a witch hunter, which spelled Wych. Together, he and Kathleen, his friend and mentor, track down the fearful creatures that lurk in the old quarter of London. It is on one of these hunts that he first encounters Elizabeth Cray. Elizabeth is half-crazed, lovely, and possessed. Whatever dreadful entity has entered her soul has turned her into a strange and unearthly magnet, attracting evil and drawing horrors from every dark corner. Kathleen and Thaniel must discover its cause and defend humanity at all costs. With vivid imagination and dark suspense, Chris Wooding has created a post-goth masterpiece about a shattered society and all the evil that dwells within. Basically, what I remember about this book is that it's like gothic horror. Who would have thought that teenage me would also be obsessed with gothic fiction as today me is? It's like I'm the same person or something. Isn't that crazy? This is so creepy. She's like taking a bath, but a spread hand shows up on the window, an imprint next to it the shape of a jawbone, and an eyebrow such as might be made if a face was pressed to the window. Ah! This book is spooky. Like, I'm on page 35, and so far we've got madhouses, we've got possession tattoos, got these demon monsters snatching babies out of their cribs, we've got a serial killer who's murdering prostitutes. Like, I'm serious. Like, page 35, we've already got all that. A princess? Shut up.
Me? A princess? Shut up!
A princess.
Thank you for being here today.
Amelia Mionette Thermopolis Rinaldi, Princess of Genovia.
Quick update from the next morning. Obviously, if you know, we're not going to talk about what I look like. It's fine. I'm about to go on a walk because the weather's really nice, and then I need to lock myself in the office and edit this video for the rest of the afternoon. I wanted to check in, let you know that I did finish The Haunting of Elizabeth Gray last night after I watched The Princess Diaries. That was kind of a weird order in retrospect. I probably should have just finished the book and then watched the movie as maybe a palate cleanser or something. But it's fine. I don't have much more to say about this book than I already did when I started it. You know, I said, oh my gosh, all these crazy things have already happened in the first, 30 pages. And it just kind of kept going from there. There were like beggar lords. There was this one little kid they called Devil Boy, who was this blind beggar, but he had like supernatural skills. There were occult rites. I don't know if I mentioned that. Exorcisms. If you think it would be kind of weird and spooky and cult-like, cult. There was like a strong cult, end of the world, doomsday cult situation. He crams a lot in, and I will say that the atmosphere was great. And I imagine looking back, that's probably what I loved so much about this book. He does really create a strong sense of place. Vibe-wise, it's really similar to something like Penny Dreadful, if you've seen that TV show. Grungy, seedy London underbelly with these fantastical creatures, specifically like monsters. There was also, it reminded me a lot of one of the Sherlock Holmes movies, the ones that Robert Downey Jr. made. There were two of them, I think, and I don't remember whether it was the first or the second, that had a really, really strong like cult plot. That reminded me a lot of this book as well. So if you combined like Penny Dreadful with the monsters and stuff with that Sherlock Holmes movie, then that's the vibe of this book. It was fine. Again, like I think maybe the atmosphere was what I really liked. This may be like one of the first gothic fiction books I ever read, so we'll give it credit for that. Overall, there was just a lot. There was like a lot going on. It was a little messy. The dialogue was a little clunky. The ending was crazy. It just kind of came out of nowhere. Like all these things happened, and then we wrapped up the story that we had like a 1-page epilogue that was like, this is where everybody is now. And I was like, oh, okay. Cool. Not the best book in the world. I'll probably give it like a 3. It was fun to reread. I'm glad that I reread it. I don't know if I ever will again, so it's kind of funny that I now have a copy. You know, I had so much fun yesterday doing my reliving my childhood experiment. As a reminder, we did read The Haunting of Elizabeth Gray, a Junie B. Jones book, Princess Academy by Shannon Hale, which was definitely my favorite of all the things I reread that day. This book is so good. I'm obsessed with this book. We did dip in a little bit to the Mrs. Pickle Wiggle treasury. So thanks for hanging out with me. I would love to hear in the comments if you have any like childhood fave books that you think about all the time or you have reread or would love to reread. I'm just like so interested in what formed us as readers, what books made us the readers we are today. But thanks again for hanging out. I'll see y'all next time.